Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
Hello, everybody. We're back. You didn't expect it, but here we are. Second week in a row after our little hiatus that we did not announce. This is Midwest Scumbag. That's Midwest Scumbag, not Midwest Cumbag Dad. I just want you to love me. I thought I'd show you something that I enjoy doing, but you just had to shit on it like you always do. Just kidding. My dad isn't there. So...
No!
That was just a dream. Ending. That was the dream sequence. I thought I showed Dad my very successful online podcast that I do every week with my best friend Elliot. I'm your host, Skylar. And we're gonna talk into your ear hole for about an hour or so, whatever we decide. Doesn't really matter. I mean, to all four of you that are listening to this every week are waiting on with bated breath on our every word.
One of those four is me, by the way. That's.
I hope you're ready for an experience like none other, because this is the Truth Island arc. That's part of the Justice Archipelago.
Ooh.
But we're just on Truth Island. It's a lot different from Dishonesty Island in that we're truthful 100% of the time.
That is correct. We only tell the truth on this podcast, and I feel like that's important. Most other podcasts out there, they put on a character, and then they, like, I don't know, get drunk with their friend, and then just start talking bullshit until it's... You're at the point where you're like, I don't believe a word these guys are saying. So, we're gonna do the opposite of that. We're just gonna tell the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth.
So help me God, so help me Yahweh, so help me Buddha, so help me Allah. I mean, whatever you ascribe to.
Mm-hmm. So help me, sweet Mother Gaia.
Maybe your God is a beautiful Swedish woman.
Oh, yeah. That'd be cool. Sweet, like a beautiful Swedish woman god.
That's just like riding her bike through the Swedish countryside, and
you see her hair that's like curled in the like the Wendy's chick hair, but she's blonde. They're like braided,
the double pigtails, and
yeah, but they like curl upwards and defy gravity in a way that makes you think, oh, that has to be the deity of a religion.
And she's very white, but not in a racist way. Yeah. She's like white in a pure sense, but not in like a not in a racial purity sense.
Not a racial purity way. Not like that's the only way to be pure is what I'm saying. Like just in a good way, in a holy divine way,
Swedish way.
Yeah, we're not racist here.
No. We're the opposite of racists. Lie. They lie all the time.
Yeah, they do. They tell you things like we're not racist and our podcast is really good and we tell the truth all the time.
We're woke.
I
have a Twitter account that I use liberally. And when I say liberal, I mean very, very far left-leaning, radical.
Radical, dude.
But radical in like, the cool skater way, not the terrorist way.
like you go down a half pipe and somebody yells, "That's fucking radical, bro!" Like that kind of radical.
Like, yeah dude, yeah. Zeke Heil, I mean, very radical. Great intro.
Well done. Stuck the landing. Fuck yeah.
I told you I had a plan coming into this.
I was convinced. I believed you because you only tell me the truth in our non-recording hours.
That's right. And this is Truth Island.
Truth Island, baby. Climb aboard, or get off the boat and have a swim in the ocean of I don't know.
You get a taste of that sweet, sweet power creep that comes with discovering a new island. Powers get a little bit better, and
you start to you explore the island a little bit, and you're like, oh look, I can punch these trees and collect the wood from it, and then pick up all the rocks, and then in your brain you're like, oh, I can build a house out of these wood and rocks, and then eventually you make a work table, and that work table opens your mind to I can make an axe and not have to punch trees anymore. I can chop them down.
Exactly. And then you start digging into the side of a mountain because the daylight's going out and there's scary sounds, and then you die, and then you get really mad, and your brother starts crying because you get very mad.
Right. That's
because your brother's there with
happens.
you on Truth Island.
Right, yeah. You wouldn't go to Truth Island alone.
You'd want someone you trust on Truth Island.
Why would you take somebody who would be a liar? I don't think you can take liars to Truth Island. I think
they're a liability.
Remember that movie Liar Liar? That was a damn good movie.
I do, dude. Yeah.
I really like that movie.
Apparently, it had a very accurate courtroom portrayal.
Really?
I don't think it was on the same level as My Cousin Vinny, but it was up there with, being semi-grounded in reality, but, Hollywood always takes its liberties.
Right.
With stuff like that.
I haven't seen My Cousin Vinny. I think I saw the beginning of it on Comedy Central a million years ago, and a dude was being thrown into a trunk, and I was like, what? Or maybe that's Goodfellas.
I think that's
Goodfellas. Fuck, that's Goodfellas.
I think that's Goodfellas. That's how it starts. And people get those confused all the time, though, so it's no biggie.
Okay. I have seen very little, Italian mobster movies. You know what I mean? I don't know
The Godfather?
No, I haven't watched The Godfather still. I think we talked about that.
Yeah, we have,
forever ago, and I said I would watch it, and I still haven't watched it.
Still hasn't watched it. That's the truth. That's truth.
Yeah. I'm being truthful. I only tell the truth. But, honestly, out of all the mobster movies that are out there, Italian mobster movies, I don't know which one I've even seen. You know what I mean?
They all kind of blur together.
They all, yeah.
Was that Goodfellas? Was that The Godfather? Was that Grand Theft Auto 3? I don't know. I can't tell.
I did play some Grand Theft Auto 3, so I remember that. And then I think that was continued in Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. That
Vice
was the
City
same
as
dude.
Well.
Oh, Vice City was also Italian mob. Okay.
Yeah, well, he had connections to the Italian. The whole, crux of the situation that, Tommy Vercetti, which I believe was Ray Liotta?
Really? He did the voice of him?
This might not be the truth, guys. I don't know.
Okay.
But I believe it was a dude from Goodfellas that voiced Tommy Vercetti, who is the hero, the protagonist of the seminal Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Yeah. I didn't know that. That's cool. I know that Ray Liotta was in, every Italian mob movie. And also The Sopranos. I didn't see The Sopranos either. I watched the first episode, and I was like, oh, okay, this seems pretty cool. But when I watched it, I wasn't ready to dive into, a super deep drama and one that's super tense and stuff like that. I think that's what, from what I've heard of The Sopranos, it's I don't know, real anxiety ridden, and which comes with a life of crime, I assume.
Yeah, absolutely. It was I haven't seen it either. My only frame of reference is that my mom's boyfriend at the time was super into it. And I did not like my mom's boyfriend, so I hated everything that he liked, obviously. It's really spoiled
exactly
it for
what
me.
you mean.
Like, I really want to watch it because I know it's like a piece of television history, because it was one of the, maybe not the first, but one of the first to really do the whole dramatic, it walked so Breaking Bad could run.
Yeah, that's fair to say. That it did that, I don't know what that, I guess it's kind of a genre, right? Of just like crime drama. Yeah.
Back to our roots. True crime.
Yeah, true crime. I think that was Ark.
See, truth has always been a Midwest scumbag staple.
That's true. That's right. We've only told the truth on this podcast, and
you can go back and look for lies. You're gonna be very hard pressed to find any at all.
Yeah. And even if you do find a lie, usually the follow-up episode, I'll cop to it. That's just because the guilt will eat away at me all week of like, or maybe not all week, just whenever I listen back to the episode and then I remember what I said and I was like, oh fuck, that was a lie. I'm a fucking stupid piece of shit.
It haunts me.
And then
it truly does.
Yeah, it does.
I'll be sitting there in my bathtub with a glass of wine, put on an episode of Midwest Scumbags, and
razor blade just sitting on the edge that you can look over at.
Maybe one or two more Tylenol than I probably should have. But
yeah, and you just look over, it's sitting there, and you just bite your lip, and you're like,
not today, God. I got another episode of Midwest Scumbags I gotta record. I gotta correct the record.
You can't let Elliot down. What is he gonna fucking record an episode of this podcast solo?
Yeah, is he gonna do like a 5-minute thing, a memoriam in my name?
Honestly, what is he gonna laugh at? You know, that's what the people come back to listen to. Just listen to me fucking laugh through 80% of the episode. Anyway,
Look
I get
upon
real
ye mighty in despair.
Good on you for taking baths, though, dude. I mean, that's I think we mentioned something about water conservation and taking a bath.
Fuck that.
I mean, yeah, fuck that. Honestly, like, fuck it. You know, baths are for the bougie, dude. People who are rich and successful podcasters. I don't know what podcasteers is. Podcasteer would be like a cow that listens to a podcast. You know what I mean?
A podcast.
The steer.
Yeah.
I hate myself.
I hate you too. And that's why we're very successful podcasteers. But on the topic of water conservation, I mean, you know, I brought it up last episode, although I couldn't really make a cogent thought because I had consumed water that had been, you know, altered in a way to make me feel happy.
Yeah, that's a beautiful way of putting it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what really all fizzy soft drinks are. Fizzy drinks is it's just water, but different. It's like water, but italicized.
Ooh, real fucking fancy.
Right, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I go out and I look at my super green lawn and I see, I think, maybe it doesn't need water, but then I turn on my hose anyway. Just so I can...
You fucking make it drink that water.
I make it drink that water. I mean, my neighbor's got to know that I got money. His lawn's already really green. Does he really need to be doing that? No, obviously I don't, but I'm going to.
Nope. And then you let it grow so that it's like extra long so that they look at it and they're like, whoa, that guy's lawn has great hair.
Damn, I'm going to call the city on this guy. He's really letting his fucking lawn go.
Whoa, dude, your lawn is like too green. And then like they send out the city official and he has like one of those paint swatches, but it has a I don't know, a swath of different colors of green, different shades of green, and he tries to match it up with your lawn, and it's like, this is too green, it's too pure. And then he's never seen it before, so he gouges his eyes out, and he just can't handle it. Can't handle how green your lawn is.
It's 1:30 p.m., and I have obviously been trying to sleep because, I need at least 12 hours or else my day is just ruined. Because I'm coming down off of it's not methamphetamine, but it's pretty close. But I get it from my neighbor, so it's cool.
It's not methamphetamine by name.
Not by name.
But in spirit, yeah, sure, we can call it methamphetamine.
Sure.
Why not? Yeah.
But he's knocking at my door. He's banging on my door. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. I show up in my fucking boxers, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I was trying to sleep. Obviously, it's 1:30 in the afternoon, and any sane person is going to sleep, is going to be asleep around that time.
Exactly. That's the correct time that you should be asleep during the day. Mexico has it right with their siestas, dude. It's like during the middle of the day, it's super hot as fuck, nobody wants to work, and so they just take a little siesta. Everybody's asleep at that time. From my experience, everybody I know is asleep around 1:30.
And then you wake up, you have a nice cold Coca-Cola because the water is too unsafe to drink. Coca-Cola, at least is safe, and then you get back to work.
That's just your day. Yeah, I understand. 100%. There, on that note, I forget where I heard this fact, but like in a lot of stuff that's based in medieval times and medieval fantasy and things like that, the reason you see people hanging out in the tavern and drinking ale and mead and shit all the time is because they didn't have good water filtration in the past. So like distilling it into a beer or something alcoholic, it was like the alcohol kills, or the yeast kills bacteria or something like that. I'm not 100% on the science. Maybe.
And
that
it was
might
just
be
like
it.
That was a process in it, and no one thought that, we could just boil water on its own and drink it, because water by itself is gross.
Yeah, but they didn't think to boil, like, I don't know, there weren't a whole lot of scientists around back then in lab coats who were like, we just boil the water and it's okay. It's like the only reason they boiled water was to make beer and ale, and I guess ale is beer anyway. But they drank it a lot back then because it was just safer to drink than the water. Because you just drink water out of a river and you're fucked, It's all nasty. It's full of parasites and bugs and I don't know what other stuff is in regular water. I don't really drink it all that much. I try to drink Coca-Cola as much as possible, just all the time.
Yep. If you're not drinking a nice cold Coke, then what the fuck are you doing?
Exactly. I say that, but really I'm more of a Pepsi man, to be honest. I like a good Pepsi.
That's
I like
fair.
a good Coca-Cola. I can enjoy Coca-Cola, but in that situation in the restaurant where it's like, do you have Pepsi or Coke products? When they say, we have Pepsi products? Yeah, dude.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They say they have Pepsi products, and inside I scream with joy.
I respect that because that's the truth. That is the truth.
It's true. Pepsi has Mountain Dew, and I'm a fucking Mountain Dew loser. And they also have Sierra Mist, which is the better version of Sprite. And they have... Okay, so they have Mug root beer, which sucks, honestly. That's the downfall.
Damn, that's going to get some flack, dude. Mug is a... Especially with that meme resurgence of Mug. Like, you got Mug?
There's a... What? There's a Mug resurgence of
Well, there's a meme resurgence with Mug root beer. I have no idea what it's about, but yeah.
I didn't know. Holy shit. I'm like completely out of the loop with the hot memes and stuff, dude. I haven't gone on Reddit in literally like Oh my god, dude. I don't think I've been on it at all in 2022.
That's good, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you completely ignored that whole NieR thing that was going on.
Yeah.
that I sent a Reddit link to because it was going on Reddit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
that-
didn't. You were talking about it a little bit, but can you explain it for the audience listening who has not played NieR Automata?
Oh, boy. Yeah, I mean, I'll do my best. Essentially, it was this, NieR Automata came out 6-ish years ago, somewhere around there. It was really
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, popular game. Not a whole lot has come for. I mean, there was like a Final Fantasy 14 crossover event with NieR. And there was also
shit, really?
Yeah. It was like a
Damn.
raid or something that had to do with NieR.
Every time I try to jump onto Final Fantasy 14, they do cool shit, and then it ends, and I'm like, fuck. Sorry to interrupt. Anyway.
No, that's okay. Yeah, no. I mean, it was like, it's kind of a kick in the dick to the community because Yoko Taro, the figurehead of NieR, was like, yeah, this is canon. Just, because everything that has to do with this franchise is canon. A mobile game came out recently that had to do with the NieR franchise. It's just another one of those fucking gotcha games with all the, you pull the characters and you're trying to get 2B or 9S or A2 or whatever, who are the main characters of NieR Automata. Anyway, this it was confirmed to be an ARG. Well, the guy didn't call it an ARG, but it was because he played the part of this, I believe he was like a Quebecois, like 12-year-old.
What? Quebecois?
Like a Quebec. Like he,
a Quebecian?
He lived in Canada, and English was he was a middle schooler with a ESL. English was a second language. So his English wasn't great, and he was like, "Oh, I was playing NieR. I found this door that supposedly shouldn't exist." And it just snowballed from there, and over the course of a month, and then recently, he posted something like a month ago about it, didn't say anything. Then a week or so ago, he posted a video, and everybody was flipping their shit because apparently the modding tools available for the game would make what he was doing impossible. So everyone thought it was like Yoko Taro doing some kind of event
sneaky
to either promote the Switch game, the Switch port that is going to release here soon.
Oh.
But it had all of these callbacks to NieR Replicant Gestalt, which was the game that came out before it, and then it's like the big thing that came out the other night was a whole bunch of Drakengard, which is the predecessor to the NieR series.
Yeah, it's like NieR exists as like an alternate reality ending of the Drakengard games.
Without going into like too crazy detail, one of Drakengard 3 had like 20 different endings. And
Jesus.
most of them made sense, but one of the endings was like aliens invade Earth, and I mean,
it's like wipe them out essentially.
But one of the endings, like one of the final bosses teleports to our time, like modern day, and because they come from a world of magic, and because they died, their corpse rotted and infected humanity with this magical disease that led into what NieR and NieR Automata would base their whole world around. So it was like, it just seemed like it was so well done that it seemed like no one else but a developer could have, someone with access to the source code and the models and everything. They couldn't have done it. But apparently at the end of the day, it was just a bunch of people that had figured it out and reverse engineered the source code so they could make modding tools that could do something like that. But it was really fun leading up to it. Very fun.
Huh.
If you're a NieR
That's
fan
awesome.
and
Yeah.
Drakengard.
I haven't played any of the Drakengard games.
I
only
haven't
played
either.
NieR
I had to
Automata,
read everything up on a wiki one day when I was bored. So I kind of know how it goes, but I didn't know enough to be like, whoa, that's super significant. It was just like somebody opened this door that shouldn't exist, and it would be like going back and playing Super Mario 64 and then discovering something that had been in the game the whole time, but just because you hadn't done the right inputs, or you know, like you had to get 34 stars and then you had to go into a painting 3 times, and then it unlocks a door to another area that had been in the game but nobody had been able to find, even though those games have been reverse engineered to a point where you could find them.
Yeah, like it's been reverse engineered so hard that they know the size and girth of Mario's dick.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Oh. It's disgusting. That man. No, that's crazy fucking interesting. Like, I wish I hadn't donated my save pile in NieR Automata when I played it at the end, because I got through it.
And that's another thing that made it so believable, is because that game is such a meta commentary on video games that it was it didn't seem impossible that they would have put something in there that, like, you know, like, one of the theories was the dude that was playing it, like, every time he would go to use an item or heal, he would always pause it and go to the menu, even though there's like a quick menu.
Yeah,
press up
there's
on the
a quick
D-pad.
menu and you can,
So people were like, oh, well, maybe he played the whole entire game without using the quick menu, and that's
what unlocked the door.
Yeah.
That's nuts, but like that's 100% you would believe that with the way fucking NieR was set up, Automata at least. I'm sorry, I haven't played any of the other NieRs, so I just refer to it as NieR.
I mean, there's only
for future
one
reference, but yeah.
Besides the mobile game and Final Fantasy crossover and like the live action play. The stage play, the orchestra that also has story stuff in his canon.
The stage play? I didn't realize there was a stage play.
Yeah, there's a stage play.
What the fuck? That's fucking awesome. Jesus Christ. Why is Japan way better than us, dude? Why do they have the coolest shit?
Yeah.
It's just not fair.
I know, it's crazy.
Man, I wish somebody had dropped a couple atomic bombs on us and that we would have made anime. And
yeah. The weird like Universe 72 style of it was Japan that developed the nuclear bomb, and they dropped it on New York. And
fuck New York, they deserve a nuclear bomb dropped on. Just kidding, everybody. Any New York,
that one listener from New York that we have is just like, oh
yeah, sorry. That was a joke.
Where's our Xenoblade? Where's the US Xenoblade?
Yeah, exactly. Japan has 3 now. Or 3 very soon. I think 3 drops in
it dropped today.
Days. Oh, maybe it dropped today. Oh, shit. I did get an email about it, I think, that it was like, hey, I know you didn't finish Xenoblade 1, and you definitely didn't play Xenoblade 2, but buy Xenoblade 3. I'm like, Nintendo, how do you know? How do you know?
I think realistically you could start with 3 and you'd be okay.
Probably. I mean, I'm sure it's detached enough from the story. It's not like fucking Dragon Age Inquisition, where like I skipped 2 and they refer to 2 a lot, so I have no idea what the fuck is going on. I think like one of the characters, Varric, I think he was like a main character in 2.
Oh yeah, the dwarf guy.
Yeah, he's like the dwarf storyteller dude.
Yeah.
He's like a huge part of 3.
He's a party
and I'm
member.
like, yeah. And I'm like, I don't know why you're relevant, bro. I'm sorry. But whatever. He wrote like a romance novel, and I gave that to Dommy Mommy Cassandra, and she was like, "Oh, this is hot. Thank you. I love you now." But not really, because you're a mage. And I always play as mage in those games because it's fucking awesome. So
it is. They have the most interesting lore.
They really do. They really do. It's fucking awesome. But whatever. I don't know how we got to that point.
Because
but
Japan, I mean,
yeah.
Going to anything Japanese is gonna lead into a tangent because they just go wild. They go ham on some shit.
They really do. I wish America went as ham on shit as Japan does.
We do,
at
with
least
guns.
In their. Yeah, you're right. We do. We have gone ham on guns. That's the American, like, I don't know what the word is for, like, a Japanese dude who's obsessed with American culture, but I assume if
isn't it like a Westaboo
as opposed to a weeaboo, that makes sense. I'm sure that fits. Like a Bandit Keith guy. You know what I mean?
Bandit Keith. Coolest Yu-Gi-Oh character.
In America. I have an American flag bandana. It's great. I love it. But I'm sure that, like, those dudes have, like, posters of guns on their wall, and they do, like, I don't know, other American things. Like, they eat McDonald's all the time. Like, all the time.
They get a big 10-gallon cowboy hat, and they pretend they're a rancher from Tennessee.
Yeah. Like, they're really into Red Dead Redemption. Like,
oh yeah, super into it. That's their Xenoblade.
That is their Xenoblade.
You want an 80-hour experience, man.
That's a perfect comparison. Holy shit. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would be.
Man. I wish I was better at Japanese. I'm working on it. So, whatever.
You're putting more effort than most people that are into Japanese stuff do.
I hope so. I mean, I feel like I'm not doing enough. Like, I look at it every day, but really what I'm doing is I'm learning kanji so that I can just do calligraphy better. I'm not... I haven't learned all of the particles of speech and all of the actual, like, what you would need to communicate with somebody in Japanese. I'm just learning all the really cool shit. Like, I know some of the basics of what, particles are, which is the most important thing to understand. It's what the children of Japan learn to communicate, but I skip it. And I'm like, oh, this character looks cool. What is this? And then I just learn all of that stuff instead of learning how to actually communicate with a Japanese person in real life. So
at least you're trying. I mean, most, weeaboos, they're going to only have the frame of reference of anime. So they'll know all the, key phrases you learn just by watching, because it is probably the kindergarten stuff they pick up on because it's so easy. They say it a lot.
Yeah, I know that, like, anime language is different from actual Japanese, just in the sense that, like, I think most of it is they use, like, the really informal language. Like, everybody that speaks to everybody in anime uses phrases that, like, if you're a rude piece of shit or you are very close and friendly with somebody at all times, I think, is kind of the deal. That's kind of what I got from it, but I don't know. Like, I mean, even, the Fist of the North Star meme, Omae wo shinderu.
Omae wo shinderu. Nani?
like that's a very rude thing to. Oh my is a like you. It's like saying you, but it's saying it in a very rude way. Like you wouldn't say that to somebody unless they were. I guess it was his enemy, but I guess it makes sense. But but you wouldn't say like anata wa. Anata is like a very, from what I've learned, it means you, but in the context of it, it's more of a, like, a wife saying it to her husband as sort of like a term of endearment, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Like Yamate Kudasai.
Yamate Kudasai. Yamate, what does that mean? Kudasai is kind of like please.
Please stop it.
Oh yeah. That's terrible. That's that's
terrible.
awful.
I only got that from I didn't get that from hentai, I'll tell you that much.
Well, that's the only way that I know that phrase. That's why that sounded familiar to me. God damn it. Just expose me as a fucking degenerate. Son of a bitch. Yeah, but like, as if you were to be like, oh, you cute piece of shit, how dare you, something like that. But that would be like anata. From what I understand.
Yamate Kudasai.
Tasukete. It means help. That means help me.
Good to know.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway,
we don't
moving
condone
on
assaulting women on this show.
No, please don't, you guys. Don't be a raper. It's not cool.
We don't want none of that on Truth Island.
No.
That's saved for Rape Island.
That's that's across the way. You take a rowboat off of Truth Island if you want to go to Rape Island. That's no fun.
I hate to say it, but I thought of that when I was watching One Piece, and it was like they passed by an island, and I can't remember what they said, but they were like, we're not going to stop there. But I was like, what if that was just Rape Island? He's like, we're not going to stop there for obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons. Like, you don't go to Rape Island. It's terrible. It's a bad place. Man, a lot of fucking anime recently. It's hard to... There's this one that I was watching that I took a break from, but I really... I have a weakness for skeleton protagonists, okay? I'm a fucking emo fuckface faggot. I'm probably gonna bleep that.
You'd love One Piece.
Probably.
There is a skeleton protagonist.
There's a skeleton dude
in One Piece.
God damn.
Just wanted to put that out there.
Well, now I have to. And
he's
like,
has a beautiful singing voice as well.
Oh man, of course he does. Son of a
cool.
bitch.
Anyway, just wanted to say that.
Son of a bitch. There's this one that was it was a recent release called Skeleton Knight in Another World, and it's essentially what it is it's another isekai where the dude wakes up in his MMO game, but he's a skeleton, but instead of being like, if you've watched Overlord, the skeleton main character is like a super hardcore lich magician, like magic user dude.
I've only seen I know Overlord, but like I haven't watched it. The only frame of reference I saw like a short clip of that guy that you're talking about, and he like says 20 spells in a row, like a bunch of buffs.
Eins Ulgon. Yeah, where he's like armor skin advance, armor skin double plus.
Yes.
And then, like he just does the whole fucking thing. Yeah. That's a good show. The new season is out, and I haven't been watching it because it's been a long time since I watched the other seasons, so I forgot kind of what happens. But anyway, Skeleton Knight in Another World. Instead of him being a lich magician, he's like a paladin. So he's like a good guy knight, but he's also a skeleton. Anyway, the beginning of it gives you that trigger warning of, like, it's kind of like the same thing with, like, Goblin Slayer, where, like, the first scene of the show is an attempted rape. And it's like, fuck, dude. It's hard to. But
then the rest of the show, it is not that at all.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's bits of it there, but it doesn't go as hard as that first episode, yeah.
No, I mean, like, even Goblin Slayer was, like, a full-on goblin rape in the beginning, and that's rough. But, like, this one, it was just, like, an attempted bandit rape. You know, and he stops him. But it's like, really, you gotta put that as the first fucking scene in a show,
also,
and
then
then
get
back off.
Like, with redo of Healer getting as popular as it did.
Oh,
like,
man.
People love that shit.
They really do.
You can't say people don't love that shit in the West, because, I mean, we had a whole fucking arc dedicated to true crime, and, I mean, if you watch Investigation Discovery for any length of time, I mean, there's gonna be a rape. I'm sorry,
yeah,
but there's gonna be a rape.
I mean, fucking Law and Order SVU is, like, literally just rape crimes the whole time, right? I haven't watched it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just like, this guy
when
fucking raped me here.
My mom was, like, super into that show, so I saw a lot of that. Yeah, it was, like, I mean, of course, it's SVU, Sexual Victims Unit.
Sexual Victims Unit, that's what that stands for.
So it's gonna be rape.
Right.
I always laughed because, like, at the very beginning, it, like, has the, you know, the cold open, and then someone gets raped, and then it's like Dick Wolf, executive producer. He has such a cool fucking name, but it's also, like, pertinent.
Fucking Dick Wolf.
I almost have to think that he picked that name as just like a moniker because it makes sense. You know, Dick Wolf.
Dick Wolf, dude.
Because the wolf is a savage beast.
It really is.
Most the women in that show would get raped within the first 10 minutes. I mean, you knew it was getting set up.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't watch Law and Order SVU without, like, knowing what you're getting into as far as
that episode with fucking with Logan Paul. That is, like, the worst. That is one out of all the episodes I watched. That's the one that sticks out to me the most. It's also the gamer episode. Like, yeah, gamers can rape too.
Oh, man.
But man, they just, oh my god. That fucking chick at the beginning is like she gets raped in a bathroom stall at a Comic-Con thing. And then, like, someone comes in, sees her, like, looking in the mirror. She's all bloody, and they're like, "What happened to you?" And she's like, "Someone leveled up." They should laugh at that. But the writing is so bad. I think Water T, I believe he's in it. Yeah, he is. He's, like, big. He's, like, one of the main dudes in it. And yeah,
is he like the main dude in regular Law and Order, or is it just
SVU?
It's
SVU.
just the rape one. God damn, dude.
Like, regular Law and Order was boring.
That's awful.
My great grandma watched that, and it was just boring. It was like someone got mugged in an alleyway, and it turned out to be whatever, some kind of conspiracy. And the first half of the episode is them, like, it's really interesting because they go after the guy, and then the last 30 minutes is all courtroom drama, and it's really boring. Kind of how SVU did it, but they focused more on the
but it was
sexual
just, like,
assault stuff. Which
it
doesn't
was
make
just,
it
like,
more interesting. Sound bad saying it like that, but
no, it just makes it more gross and man, more revolting. Like, I don't know how you would watch that show and, like, watch a full episode and be like, oh, okay, let's go back for more fucking terrible, heinous crimes and just keep enjoying it. I don't understand it.
I mean, my mother, she's super into that investigative discovery, whatever stuff, and that was all it was just, like, sexual crimes and murders and a bunch of fun stuff, but can't say the Japanese aren't, like, into that stuff too to some extent.
No, they're into it too.
A lot.
They're into it too. That's what it makes it hard to, like, recommend those anime to people, because it's like, oh yeah, the first scene is an attempted rape, and then it's like, well, the guy who recommended this to me is kind of a good dude, but, you know, he said he really likes this show. That's a red flag. So, you know, Goblin Slayer's fantastic, though.
It's
but
cringe.
Yeah,
Can't recommend that either.
Exactly.
Even if it, like, ends up being really good.
Yeah, even yeah. So I try to keep that shit to myself. I'm like, oh, all right, and then I feel weird looking. I look away at some of the parts, and then it's like, okay, well, he swings in and does like a time stop mechanic and slices these dudes in half, and like, I mean, at least in Skeleton Knight: Another World, he gets real justice in the middle of it while also preventing a rape. So it's a good thing that he does it. But then, like, I don't know, I guess all the bandits in the show are just super into rape because it happens again later on. I think episode 1, it starts in media res, in the middle of the action. So, like, there's the whole attempted rape scene, and then it's, like, from the bandit's perspective, and like the chick screaming, and then it's like really like dark, and then dude swoops in and stops it, and then it goes back, and it's like, oh, okay, this is how I wake up, and oh, I'm a skeleton dude, and this is my game, and I remember playing this, and then it like goes forward in the episode up until that attempted rape scene again, and then it plays it again, basically the same beats, except it, like, cuts to Skeleton Guy who's like, oh, man, should I stop this? Yeah, maybe I should probably stop this from happening because I have these powers and I'm a skeleton dude. And then he stops it, but it's like, dude, you have to question if you should interfere with this. You should just fucking jump in without thinking. But I don't know. I think that's the only point in the show where he, like, questions himself of, like, should I act or not? Because he realizes he's like, oh, yeah, I'm fucking super powerful. Yeah, like, should you stop the rape? Yeah, you should fucking stop the rape.
Dude.
Why are you taking so long?
All of you out there listening, if you see a rape happening, stop it.
Yeah, honestly, like, there's no fucking, don't stop and be like, oh, you know, should I interfere in this world? Yeah, you should interfere and stop a rape if it's happening. Don't sit there and watch it and make the viewers go through the same exact fucking attempted rape scene twice in one episode.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's too much.
Yeah, like,
and
you're
I
more
can't
concerned about the viewers than the rapey.
Just imagine if your life is being viewed by a third party and, like,
what would they think?
Yeah, what would they think? What would they think if you stop and question yourself about jumping in to prevent a rape? Like, come on, dude.
How many times have we said rape this episode?
A lot. Like, way too much. Like way too much.
This is
and
getting
it's in the middle of the episode. Honestly, we're not going to make money on this episode. I'm sorry I didn't put, like, a trigger warning at the beginning or anything.
It's alright. Put a trigger warning in the description.
Yeah.
Trigger warning. We talk about rape. Sorry, guys. It's gross. I don't like it. It makes me super uncomfortable. It should make
everybody
uncomfortable.
It should make everybody uncomfortable, man. Fuck. It's terrible. It's fucking terrible. And that's how I feel about it. That's my truth on the matter. I don't like it. I don't like seeing it in my anime.
That's why we go past Rape Island.
Because you just skirt past Rape Island.
Past it.
You don't make a pit stop there, you guys. You go right back.
Not if you need to.
Not if you need to. Not if even, like, you're hungry. You can fast for a couple days. You'll be fine. There's water all around you on the ocean. You should just
definitely drink that water. Unfiltered. That's how you get superpowers. That's how you get anime superpowers.
You get anime superpowers by drinking seawater. That's and eating the gum fruit or the
yeah, the gum fruit. Yeah, no, you're right. It's called the gum fruit.
Are there other types of fruit in One Piece?
Oh yeah, there's tons.
Okay,
tons of fruit, and they all have like different. It's crazy.
Is there like a gun fruit that makes you like really good at shooting guns?
I don't I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if there was. They're all like relatively I say grounded, but they're like elemental, and I don't know. There's different types. There's like a Zoan fruit that is like different animals, celestial animals. Like there's a celestial dragon, which is different than what
you
Luffy...
could just be a dragon.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm spoiling One Piece super hard, but I haven't even made it up to that point yet. But
okay,
all
right.
The circles that I look on the internet, I see some spoilers and stuff. So, but
yeah,
I mean,
it's been
Luffy
going on
is
for
different
forever.
than like the one another dude ate. His obviously gives him the power of rubber. There's another guy that like he ate one that gives him the powers of smoke. So obviously he smokes a bunch of cigars, so that way he can utilize his power.
The power of smokes, bro. I'm gonna utilize my power of smoke after this episode.
Same here. I might eat that gum fruit.
Bro.
They're not all called gum fruit. They're called devil fruits.
Oh,
just to be
okay,
clear.
the devil fruit. All right. See, I remember, like, I watched a few episodes of One Piece way back when. And I had thought that, like, all of the fruits were called gum fruits and that they just gave you different powers at random.
I mean, that is kind of how it works, but they're called devil fruit.
Oh, okay.
They're just depending on what kind of fruit they are.
Is it just like they grow out of a tree and the tree decides what kind of power that fruit will give? And it's
I don't know. I haven't really looked into it, but I don't think it's ever been really explained all that well.
Oh, okay.
I'm
it's
sure
just kind of a plot device.
It sounds like One Piece is going to end within the next 5 years. I'm not kidding. Like, I know. This series has been going on since the 90s, and they haven't even explained like
within the next 5 years. Like that's the window of time that they gave of the ending of the show.
I think they're on
Jesus
chapter
Christ.
1050.
Oh my god.
Something like that. But yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, that's very. I mean, it does seem like it's from what I understand. I try not to spoil myself, but sometimes I do read those spoiler fucking threads. I don't care. I'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
But it's interesting.
Honestly, I'd read, when I went back in, like, when I watched Game of Thrones, I had seen a bunch of Game of Thrones spoilers, but I didn't understand them. Like, I didn't know they were spoilers until I was watching the show and learned characters' names and learned what people were doing, and then I was like, oh, fuck. So, like, I knew kind of when X character would die from this, but then I was like, oh, okay, but things would change and be different anyway, and I kept an open mind as to what would happen, so... I know Game of Thrones spoilers were a big deal. Spoilers were like, I think they're still a big deal. Everybody cares about them, but it's like, who gives a fuck, honestly? It's not real life, you know what I mean? You can't spoil real life. What's the only spoiler of real life is that you're gonna die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's the
biggest spoiler.
That is the crux of Truth Island.
That's the crux of it.
That's what we're looking for, and
we're mortal beings. I'm sorry to get right to the fucking center of Truth Island in episode 2 of the arc, but that's
the truth is we are all going to die, every single one of us.
Yeah, that's
Even
your
my
mortality.
Stupid fucking neighbor who's banging on the wall right now because maybe I'm being too loud, but you haven't paid rent in fucking a year, Joel. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck him. Fuck you, Joel. He can't hear me because you're probably wearing headphones, but...
He's not banging on my wall. I don't think he's, like, banging on my wall. He's banging on the wall in the living room, so he's probably doing some shit. But he hasn't paid rent in a year. Fuck you. I'll be as loud as I want.
Fuck.
Bringing some real-life truth into the Truth Island arc here. You get to see what it's like to live in the life of a Midwest scumbag.
Is that your fucking neighbors are stupid pieces of shit and they're
Pretty
gonna
much.
bang on walls.
At least the one to the right of me.
Yeah, fuck that.
The one
fuck
on the
that
left is
guy.
an old lady who's deaf, so she's obviously not caring too much how loud I be.
Yeah. She's probably a big fan of the podcast. She puts it on.
I'd
and,
hope
like,
so. She's like a grandma. She gives me
vibrations
food and stuff. She's real nice.
Oh man. Every deaf person I've interacted with has been really nice, but I haven't interacted with a whole lot of deaf people, so that's my truth. I don't I'm not deaf, so like I wouldn't hang out with a bunch of deaf people, but I assume that I shouldn't assume things. Sorry, I'm betraying agreement number 2. Anyway,
There's a security alert for Midwest Scumbags at gmail.com, which is where you can get a
What?
hold of us, by the way.
That's our email. I don't think we've ever told anybody. But if you want to email us, yeah, midwest.scumbags@gmail.com.
Yeah, that was probably you trying to sign in stuff.
That was me signing in.
Hey, forget we have a joint account. I was just like,
I have
what?
the info
Security
saved.
alert?
Yep, that was me. Sorry, dog.
Sorry, I wasn't
didn't tell
looking at
you.
my phone during the show at all.
No, good on you. Good on you. I was looking at my phone. I got a notification from... I downloaded this app that, like... It's like a dating/friends app, but it connects across the world, so, like, I've been connected with a bunch of chicas from all kinds of places. Mostly Indonesia, which is weird.
I was
but
hoping Sweden.
I haven't met a whole lot of Sweden girls yet, but I've run into a couple Russian babes and a chick from Germany and a chick who was born in Lithuania but then moved to the UK, and yeah, I don't know. It's a cool way to like talk to chicks who don't live in America, so it's like there's no threat of me running into them in real life, so they don't see how short I actually am, and you know, it's cool. It's cool. I'll send you the details. I don't want to blow it up on the podcast, like to all the 4 people who are listening.
We love you.
We love you. To everybody listening to this podcast right now, I fucking love you. And I'm sorry that we said rape like 1,000 times in the middle of the episode, but
we gotta get
sometimes
a point across somehow.
Yeah. We have to make sure that you know that we're not down with that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
We don't do locker talk, not just, it's just the boys in the locker room having a little jive, giving each other beaches and stuff like that. We don't do that here. This is a legitimate show for legitimate people.
Yeah, this is a show for everybody. I mean, probably not for your children. We have very explicit language, but I mean, for every adult human being who's out there, you should be able to listen to the show and not feel like we're ostracizing you. Or is that the right word, ostracizing? Or
to be cast
alienating? Out. Yeah. Oh, I balanced my sorry, I have a Pepsi with my alcoholic drinks right now, and like when you have a can of soda but it has just the right amount of liquid to where you can balance it on the little lip at the bottom between the like where the can ends and the bottom part begins, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just balance my can like that. I'm really good at doing that when I'm drunk, but
for some reason I thought you were going to say you were balancing your checkbook, and I was like, yeah, I can understand that. I mean, we're
right. I don't
here.
own a
We
checkbook,
grindmax.
dude.
I mean, you're gonna record your very successful podcast and also balance your checkbook because it's so fat.
Like I own a fucking checkbook? Get the fuck out of here, dude. I'm under the age of 30. Why would I have a checkbook? That's ridiculous.
So you could write bad checks like I
So I can bounce checks for my groceries and be like, I'm never coming back to this fucking grocery store again. So I'm just gonna buy a bunch of shit.
Who's gonna fucking catch you?
Yeah,
they don't cash that shit till the next day, and then you can be out of state by then. I mean,
exactly.
It's that easy. It's that easy.
Life pro tip: go out of state and buy groceries. Buy a shitload of groceries.
Checks.
With a bad check. Yeah.
You don't even have to sign your real name on it. No one gives a fuck.
I was gonna say preferably with a fake name, because then like even if they tried to track you down on your Facebook, like you give them a false name, they're not gonna know. That's the pro tip of the week. Mm-hmm. To grind max your life to the fullest.
Save money. Cash bad checks. They'll never find you. They won't.
They're not gonna find you. They're not.
Doesn't matter if your name is on that top left corner or whatever you're routing. Those don't mean jack shit. The banking system, it's a lie.
Yeah, what are they gonna do? Call your bank and be like, "Hey, who is this person? What is their address?" Yeah, right. They don't have the time to do that. Another pro tip is if you're at the grocery store, you can buy the fancy organic vegetables and fruits, but if you go to like one of these new self-checkout things, you can ring them up as the not fancy store fruits and vegetables that are way cheaper than the organic version. And like, what are they gonna do? What are they looking over your shoulder every time and being like, hey, that sticker on that banana says organic, but you rang it in as the best choice banana? Yeah, right, dude. Save yourself 75 cents per pound on bananas by ringing it.
You really can save a lot of money by doing that. It's a very unethical life pro tip, but yeah, that is a pro tip. You can absolutely
is it unethical? Is it unethical though to save a little bit of money on your groceries?
Yes,
you're already paying too much.
It's theft.
Oh, is it theft?
That is theft, but it's all right because who cares? I mean, the manager
who
care,
cares?
But fuck them.
Yeah, like they're not the ones who are running around being the managers of the self-checkouts every day. You know, maybe if you see a guy with a tie, like, don't do it, but other than that, if it's like a teenage person...
If you see a guy with a tie in Walmart, you should tackle him.
Yeah, tackle him. Fucking punch him in the throat and be like, fuck you, I win.
I guarantee you that all the workers at Walmart will love you for it because...
Yeah. They'll clap.
They'll love, especially if they look like they're really like looking at shit and scrutinizing every little fucking detail that the worker's doing. Tackle them. Just
tackle them.
Fucking, quarterback, linebacker, run into them, fucking knock them out, give them a concussion. If you can give them a concussion.
And then run out the store as fast as possible. Yeah, they'll forget. That's the magic of concussions. If you give somebody a concussion, they won't remember that you gave them a concussion. So just do that. If you can give anybody in your life a concussion, just do it.
You want to know something really dark that a cop told me?
Yes.
Once. I work at a convenience store. I think I've made that, I've said that before on this, so I'm not doxing myself in any way. But cops will come in and it's like, what kind of force can we reasonably use against somebody that has a gun? And in the state I am in, like, if somebody were to like hold me up and take all the money and they were to turn around, I were to shoot them in the back of the head or in the chest. I mean, you should aim for the core of the body if you're going to shoot somebody.
Right.
Little Midwest pro tip.
Gun pro tip.
Anyway, he basically said, like, if you're going to shoot somebody, shoot to kill because they can't testify against you.
Damn.
So
that's a good... Wow. Yeah. I mean,
That's why you don't shoot someone in the legs with the arm or whatever. You shoot to kill because if you kill them...
In a really dark way. Holy shit. That makes sense.
That's America
that makes the
for
most
you,
sense.
folks. That is America.
Wow. There's none of that he said, she said bullshit going on with that.
If
If
they
the
die,
other
they
party's
cannot
dead.
testify against you in court. They can't sue you. Another big American thing.
You don't have to pay their medical bills if they don't have medical bills. They only have coroner bills. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that really goes for like any, if you're getting mugged and you have the opportunity, obviously it's going to vary state by state, but if you kill somebody, they can't testify against you.
That is
it's
dark
up to the
as
lawyers
fuck.
to fucking figure that
Oh.
out.
Kurai des.
Can you,
oh my god.
Can you do the outro? Can you just do the Breaking Bad theme after I say that?